Hey guys, welcome to the Family First Life podcast. My name is Stephen Yee. I get a great guest today that I get to introduce you to, Mr. Brian Walker. How are you doing, sir?
Good. How are you?
Hey, so our topic today, let's jump into it. Brian, what did you do prior to coming to Family First Life?
So I was in the Army for 11 years.
Thank you for your service.
Oh, my pleasure.
You know, one of the things that I will tell you, Brian, is when Sean started this company, he went after two groups of people, sports and athletes and military, because in my opinion, those are the two groups of folks that have a lot of discipline, that know how to basically handle their stuff, right? And as you can see, you're very successful because I'm pretty sure you have those qualities in you. But how did you find Family First Life?
So I was actually scrolling down on Facebook. I was looking to get into the insurance industry, and I wasn't sure how.
Okay.
And I was seeing the numbers that people were putting up on,
I'm not giving it back, so, but cool. So how long you been here at Family First Life?
Since the 1st of January.
1st of January, so not too long.
No.
Okay. So let's cut through the chases. What did you do? Right? Like,
I don't know.
how did you get all the training or whatever it is to be able to do that?
So first of all, I'm super obsessed. I study every video that I possibly can find about Family First Life.
Right.
And then, when I finally figured out to go all in, and really,
There you go. Yeah. So Brian says something that most of you guys probably overlooked. All top producers, if you ever actually listen to their podcast, they always say the same thing. I learned a lot from watching other people's videos.
Yeah.
Because I've always told people, Brian, is like the training that you don't listen to or watch can't help you.
Nope.
Right? So like that one video that you might have listened to, unintentionally, but they taught you something on the phone and you go, hey, I'm going to put that in play. And then you put it in play and you book an extra 5 appointments and close off 5. And it's like that 1, 2, 3 minutes or 20-minute video that I watch. For me, it's like you can't be a sponge. You can't overlearn here because everybody's like tricks and tips are all free online and you can literally just get them anywhere. So,
Exactly.
So let's talk about, phones, because we know you're strong on the phones. The phones is 80% of our business, and that's what most people don't like. How are you so disciplined on the phone?
You got to eliminate distractions. What I do now is I go up to an office, or actually, since I've started, I've gone up to the office to be with my upline, Ryan Gilly.
How far is that office from you?
About 1 hour and 15.
Right.
Yeah,
so while most people go, hey, there's not one close to me because it's an hour away, you're like, that's
not a big
deal.
Shot.
Right.
No, not a big deal at all, especially because what I get from it, there's a lot of good dollars in there. So I literally pick the good things from each one of those dollars and put it into my own little script, if you will. And that's how I'm able to, and I'm there from, 8 o'clock in the morning until I'm the last one to leave usually.
Right.
I'm gone at 6 and then I drive, an hour and some change home.
Right.
And get dinner on the way home. So that's been the biggest thing, is pulling little things from a lot of people, making it my own, and learning how to quick set appointments too. That's also helped me book a lot of appointments because those people are usually home.
Right.
So
talk about quick sets, because a lot of brand new agents that are on this, podcast have no idea what it is.
Right.
Explain that, go through that really quickly for us so that we can actually hear what it sounds like.
Okay. All right. So when I'm on the phone with a potential client, they're like, hey, I'm at work right now. I say, hey, look, I just need 10 seconds. Are you still at this address? They confirm the address. And then I go, okay, well, I'm going to put you down for 6 o'clock. Does that work for you? They say, yeah, 6 o'clock works. And I'm off the phone.
Right then and there.
Yeah.
There you
that's
go.
all it takes.
Sweet. So you said picking a little bit from a lot of people, right? So I've always learned this too. I'm the same exact way. It's like, at Family First Life, it's like a buffet. You go through the buffet line and you go, hey, I want to take that. So you take it, you put it on your plate.
Right.
And you walk by something, you go, I don't know about that one. And you just walk right by it, and then you see something you like and you put it on your plate. That's how most people do what we do. Like if you take my InHome, my phone script, it's like I can say, hey, this part I learned from this person. This part I learned from that person. And that's just all we do as agents.
Right.
We in business is called, R&D, right? Like research and development. And in Family First Life, it's R&D is rob and duplicate. Like you take yours and I put it in my system. So, but cool. So like phone scripts, you're very strong on the phones. You're very disciplined. When you're dialing, are you dialing to hit a number of dials? Are you hitting a number of appointments? Are you willing to stay on the phone as long as you need? Mm-hmm. Explain that for the new agent.
Okay, so I dial about $300 per dial a day, if not a little bit more, depending on which area I'm dialing in.
Right.
It's 15
You're drop dead.
Drop dead, there you go.
Right.
Yeah, it's 15.
Gotcha. And how long does it usually take you to set this 15?
In between trainings and stuff that we have on Mondays and Thursdays, like I said, I start at 8. I'll have like 6 or 7 before the first training that we go to. And then I noticed that I would get a lot of people on the phones between like 4:30 and 6 o'clock.
Right.
Because they're getting off of work. A lot of my clients are in between like 50s and, mid 60s. So they're probably still working.
Right.
I catch them at those times, and I've dialed through my leads more than once at that point. If you don't get them on the phones in the morning, then you're probably going to get them on the phone later on that night.
In the evening, right.
Exactly.
How many leads are you getting every dial session, you think?
So it's about 100, 120, depending on what I'm buying. I'm in love with 1 month in news.
Right.
And those instances as well.
And see, that's the thing, Brian. Like, I coach basketball and I played basketball, right? And it's kind of like if I told you, I said, hey, you only have 10 shots and you need to score 30 points. You need to hit 10 threes, which is like physically impossible unless you're Steph Curry, right?
I was about to say Steph. Yeah.
But if I said, hey, I give you 100 shots to score the same 30 points, you're like, dude, that's easy. I can shoot it from half court and make them.
Right.
That's leads. Your shots are your leads. If you have a lot of leads, you're not pressured to make or dial or set every one.
Exactly.
You set the ones that are supposed to be set. One of the things that I realized when we were doing this business was like in the beginning, I was only buying a minimal of leads. So therefore, I was setting people that I shouldn't have set. And then when I got there and they no-showed me, I was upset about it, right? Compared to if you buy 100 leads, kind of like you do, and most agents should, and you book the people that actually know you're coming. It's a different ball game because your sit ratio is higher. So quickly talk about your in-home presentation too. How long are you using it in the home? Do you build much rapport? Like, go through all that.
Okay. So when I first started, I was in the home for at least an hour and a half. I was trying to get it figured out.
Right.
Product placement was the hardest thing for me.
Right.
And I still call Ryan almost every time I'm in the home just to make sure I'm making the right decision.
Correct.
But when I get in the home, and I got this from Ryan as well, when I come to the house, I say, hey, so you're looking for life insurance, right? And they shake their head, yeah. So I say, I like to do 3 things when I sit down with clients. I'm going to find something that's affordable for you. I'm going to find something that you qualify for. And in order to find what you qualify for, we're going to submit an application. And I'm shaking my head yes at the same time.
Right.
And they're like, yeah, okay. So then I go through the financial inventory and all the medical background stuff. I figure out where to place them with my cheat sheet. And then, if I can't figure it out or if I see something that I haven't seen before, I'll give Ryan a call. I tell him, hey, look, I'm going to call my senior underwriter real quick just to make sure I'm making the best possible decision for you real quick.
Right.
They don't have an issue with it. Actually, they really do like it because, they want to be put in the best situation.
The other thing is people don't want to, if you were sitting down with me and you were new, I wouldn't want you to guess on my life.
Right.
You know what I mean? And like a lot of new agents that have egos, that's what they do. And so like, I love that because like I said, you have no ego in this thing. And you're like, I call in every home because it's not about me. It's about putting the client in the correct situation.
Right.
Kind of like you said, if like I couldn't get the answer on a cheat sheet, like if the client had no meds, okay, that's a different story. But if they seen a medication that I haven't seen or a condition I've never heard of, I was never scared to pick up the phone and go, Bob and Mary, give me 1 second. I'm gonna double check my senior underwriter to make sure I put you in the correct spot. I'll call Brian, but hey, Brian, I'm sitting down with Bob and Mary. Bob is 62 and he's taking a medication for this. What do you think is the best situation for him? And you say, Eagle Premier. I'm like, exactly. That's exactly what I had to. Right. Hey, thank you. Appreciate it. And it's like, that was it. It was a 20-second phone call to make sure that the client was in the best situation.
Right.
You know what I mean? So now what you're in your in-home now, how quick are you in the home now? Not an hour and a half, I'm assuming?
No, not at all. I've cut that time in half.
45 minutes.
About 45 minutes now.
There you go.
Yes, that way I can get to my next appointment. And one thing I will say too to new agents, even if you're running late, still show up to the next appointment. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. And see, that's the thing is, if you're running late that day, that means you have a good day.
Yeah.
Because if you're early to every appointment, it means you're getting no show. People are canceling on you.
Right.
So like show up regardless. I remember in the beginning I was like, oh my gosh, I'm 2 hours late. Like if someone came to my house and they were 2 hours late, I was like, I wouldn't let them in. Right. But I'm not that person. I didn't fill out a form for insurance either.
Right.
You see what I mean? So it's like, stop putting our own prejudices on other people because we didn't do the same thing. Like, for example, like I would never go online and fill out information for life insurance, but these people did.
Right. And that's why you're there.
Exactly. And that's why you're there. So like, stop telling yourself like I would never let someone call me 3 times in a row. But guess what? These people do because they filled out a form. So it's like, once you can kind of take that away and go like, it's about me. No, it's not about you. It's about the client.
Right.
That's why our company's called Family First Life. Exactly. So, Brian, as we wrap this up, like, let's say you hired yourself today, because now you've seen the experience, you've made the money, you've learned a little bit. There's some obstacles that you've had along the way too. So if you were to hire yourself right now and you're a brand new agent and you're sitting down going over how to get started with us, what would you do to say, hey, this is what I would do and this is what I wouldn't do?
Wow. Okay. So what I tell an agent that's coming on, to definitely be organized. All right. That's the biggest thing.
What do you mean by that?
So there's a lot of paperwork involved, as far as, having your leads printed out, marking them with certain, indicators to let you know if the person's picked up the phone or if you booked an appointment with them or what have you. I've learned to write either DNA if they didn't answer, or to write the appointment time, put it in a different pile. Just being organized, because if you're not, the person calls you back, you don't know what you're looking for.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it sounds unprofessional when you're talking to a client and you don't know what you wrote for them.
Who they are, right?
Exactly. So organization is one. Be obsessed, like I said earlier. If you're not obsessed with this, then I feel like you're not doing yourself any justice, because you're going to learn a lot from the trainings online. That's how I learned pretty much a bulk of my things. Call your upline. Stay in constant contact with them, because they're going to help you throughout the whole process.
Right.
Let me know if I'm getting off track.
No, you're good. This is money.
Okay.
Is there anything that you've done that you were like, oh, I'm not doing that again?
I guess not forcing a policy per se, but having that gut feeling that, the person probably couldn't afford it and writing it anyway because they really wanted it. I'd say I won't do that again, because, it can come back to bite you in the butt later on.
Right.
And it's not really taking care of the client per se. Yeah.
Yeah, because, writing $400 a month is cool, but if they cancel in 2 months, what did it do for the client?
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, sometimes let's dial it back to $250 a month. And then if you keep it for a year or two or longer, then great. The most important life insurance coverage is the one that's in force when you pass away.
Exactly.
And like, sometimes, like what I've taught in our group, Brian, I don't know if you guys do this, but kind of when you do a proper financial inventory, you should know what they can afford.
Right.
So like, if they only have $400 left disposable and you get them to spend all 400 of it, like, that's going to fall off soon. Right. But even if they did want that, a lot of times I was like, hey, Bob, hey, Mary, what we're going to do is we'll submit the one for $250 today, and your situation doesn't change. And like, everything is good in the next handful of months. I'll call you back. We'll come back and we'll increase it to the 400 that you want. How's that sound? And you're like, great. And it's like, the reason why I tell people that, Brian, is because, number one, salesmen always upsell. They're trying to get, 400? No, you should do 7. Right? Yeah. I'm trying to get them to spend less so that they have a cushion. They're like, most salespeople don't do that. I'm like, I'm not in sales. I'm a field underwriter. Right.
I always tell them about the 30-day period too, the free look. So if it feels like it's going to be too expensive, you can always give me a call back
and we drop it.
Exactly. I never say cancel, but I say replace. And I think I actually got that from you.
Right. But see, that's because, and here's the thing, persistency. Like, what's the point of writing? You know what I mean? So like, for me, it's like, having good business is a big thing. Is, we've always said the business that, stays is the business that pays. Like, you don't get a renewal if it doesn't stay that long. Right. So, cool, man. So like, being able to make sure that the clients put, the proper amount in place, and, that's a money tip for brand new agents.
For sure.
And what I've realized too is, so many times when I've actually done that follow-up call, like 3-4 months later, I'm like, hey, Mary, this is Steve. I'm the insurance guy that you sat down with a few months back. I wanted to give you a call because I'm actually in your area this upcoming week and wanted to see if we wanted to increase your coverage. And they're like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad we didn't pick the most expensive one because I had a flat tire last week, or I had this come up, or whatever. And I'm like, exactly.
Boom.
And that's where, for me, it's like, a lot of agents, they sometimes I get phone calls and they're like, it seems like everything I write, it falls off. And I'm like, because you're overselling. It's not because of anything else. It's because the clients can't afford it. You might be so good that they bought something that they couldn't afford, which is not a good thing.
Right.
But it's like, if the business can stay on the books, you'll get paid forever, which is why we're here.
Right.
So any closing comments for all the brand new guys out here that's watching this podcast right now, Brian?
Go all in from day one. Don't hold back. If you have the means to, do it. If not, door knock, because it works.
Right.
I've been a testament to that the past couple of weeks in between appointments, and reach out, if you need anything from me.
Okay, so let's talk about that. If a brand new agent's watching this call, or let's just say a person that's not even working with us, and they wanted to reach out to you, how would they be able to reach out to you? What's your phone number?
It's 732-693-0552.
That's the best part about Family First Life. We like to share our knowledge, not just with people here, but people outside of the company too, because at the end of the day, like we said, we're just here to serve our clients.
Right.
So, and that's the best part about this is we have such a great culture here that, we have no idea. We have no problem helping other people because we're just trying to pay it forward. So, hey, Brian, thank you for jumping on with us. I look forward to literally watching you cross the stage this year and getting your red jacket, Hall of Fame. Let's go knock that out, all right?
All right, thanks, man.
Let's do it, guys. Hey, thank you for jumping on, guys. You have a great one. We'll see you guys soon.